All right, old news over, new news is here. We're talking about trapezoids, kites, and the plural of rhombus is rhombi. Everybody say rhombi. Rhombi. Okay. Do not say rhombuses. You're not taking the rhombus from Lee Summit to Raytown or to Math Magic Land. It's not happening. You're taking several rhombi. Okay? So trapezoid is trapezoids. Kite is kites. Rhombus turns into rhombi. Kind of like cactus and cacti. Same concept there. It's the pluralization of a noun that ends in S, which has a vowel right before it. Okay. Area of a trapezoid. Does anyone know how to find the area of a trapezoid? Base sun side is very close. The problem is there's two bases. There's base 1 and there's base 2. See that? Base 1 and base 2. So it would, generally speaking, be area of the base equals base sun side. But since there's two bases, we basically take the average of those bases. Okay? So here's how this works. There's two different ways of writing this. Generally speaking, you'll see if you take the average of two things, you say base 1 plus base 2. This is the average. This is how you find an average. And what are you going to multiply that by? You're going to multiply by height. Okay? That's one way to write it. This is usually the way that I calculate it. I add them together, divide by 2, multiply by the height. Generally speaking, what most people do instead is they will write 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Is that any different than this over here? It's the same thing. And what I would do is order of operations, see what's in the parentheses first, which is add together the bases. Multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. It's the exact same thing. Dividing by 2 and multiplying by 1/2. And you're multiplying by the height. This is the formula that you will see. Generally speaking, this is how you calculate it. Okay? Is that okay? So it's the average of the bases times the height. Is that much different than what we did before? The only difference here? No, average of the bases means divide by 2.
Okay.
So there's two bases, we have to find the average of them. Oh, okay. Good cover up. Okay. Okay. The free throw lane of an international basketball court, okay, is shaped like a trapezoid. Find the area of the free throw lane, show all your work, and circle your answer. So what we need to do is we need to find the area. What shape is it? It's a trapezoid. So what's the formula for it? Times height. That's right. Excellent. 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So what's base 1?
6.
Oh, yeah, it is 6. What's base 2? 3.6. What's the height? 5.8. Excellent. If you have a calculator, please take it out. We're going to add these two together first. That'd be 9.6. So that'd be 9.6 times 5.8, like so. 9.6 times 5.8. Ooh, that gives me 1/2.
Why do you have so much?
55. I don't know. I made it. And then we're going to just divide that by 2. And we get 27.84. Does it say to round anything? Show your work, circle your final answer. Okay. What would our units be?
Wait a minute.
M.
Square
M.
So you'd say square meters. Internationally, the standard units would be meters. You guys had like no room to do that, did you?
No.
Okay. Number 2. Directions. Find the area of each trapezoid. Show all your work and circle the final answers. Connie, what shape is this? You're so smart. What's the area formula for a trapezoid? That's right. Connie, what is base 1? 8? What's base 2? Now, does it matter if you said that the base 1 was 6 and base 2 is 8? Does it matter? No. What's the height? 4. Hey, what's 8 plus... Oh, let's do this in our heads without a calculator. What's 8 plus 6? 14. What's half of 14?
7.
What's 7 times 4?
28.
48. Did you need a calculator for that?
Is it squared? Is it feet squared?
It would be square feet. Okay. Justin Avocado. Number 3. Justin. Number 3. What shape is this? What shape is it, Justin? It's a trapezoid. You're right. Good job. What's the formula for area of a trapezoid? That's right. Okay. Let's add these. Let's do this now. What's base 1, Justin? What's base 2? Excellent. And what's the height? Excellent. Great job. Justin, in your head, what is 8 plus 11? 19. What is 19 times 10 in your head? 190. That's very good. 190. And divide that by 2. Excellent. 95. And we don't have any units, so we better write square units like so. Does that make sense? And there's no units? Write units squared. Square unit. Square units. Any questions? 1, 2, or 3? Let's move on to 4. Silas, what shape do we have here? Number 4. Trapezoid, that's right. What's the area formula for trapezoid?
Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times 9.
That's so right. What is base 1?
10.
What's base 2?
3.
What's the height?
6.
6. What's 10 plus 6?
16.
What's half of 16?
8.
8. What's 8 times 6?
48.
48. Can you need a calculator for that?
No.
No, you didn't. What would we write for the units?
Unit squared. Square unit.
Nice work. Number 5, Janelle. What shape do we have? A what? Chapter 1? Oh, trapezoid. What's the area formula for a trapezoid? Times the height. Very good. What's base 1?
8.
What?
Oh, 7.6.
7.6. What's base 2?
4.8.
What's the height? 5. I agree with that. 100%. This is going to be tougher. 7.6 plus 4.8. What do you think? 12.4. What's half of 12.4? 6.2. What's 6? What's 6.2 times 5? Times 5 would be 31. You got it. 31, and we have to say square units, right?
Yeah.
That might have been a little more complicated without a calculator, but according to Mitchell, buy your own calculator. Okay. They're like $10. Walmart. Maybe 15 at the top. 15 at the top. That's a really nice one. TI 30XS is really good. The multi-view. I recommend it. Oh, don't. Oh, and to get the. Get that one. The TI 30XS2 is also really good. That's what the science people really like. So they don't come in fun colors. They're either blue or they're gray. And they also come in pink and green and some other ones.
$10. Summit lights. Let's go. Summit lights.
The area of a rhombus is half the product, the length of the diagonals. So all we do is we write this out. It says half, so we write half. The product means multiplication, so that's D1 times D2. Sweet. The area of a kite is 1/2 the product of the length of its diagonals. That sounds really familiar. 1/2 product of its diagonals. Okay, they're like the same, right? Okay, so a rhombus, remember, is like a square that's kind of tipped over. All 4 sides are the same, right? Okay, and a kite, 2 sides that are right next to each other are the same. Okay, so it could be like this side and this side. These 2 are the same, and then this side and this side are the same. So that 2 sides next to each other, it'd be 2 pairs of consecutive sides are congruent. Would be the way you would say it. 2 pairs of consecutive sides are congruent. Where this side, all 4 sides are congruent, which is also called Equilateral. Okay. Equilateral is another word for what the side lengths of a rhombus are. What is equilateral? Okay. Directions. Find the area of each rhombus or kite. Show all your work and circle your answers. This is awesome. I hope you have enough room to do all this. Let's see. Katie Smith, what shape is this?
It's a rhombus.
It is a rhombus.
How do you know
So-
it's a kite again? It looks like a kite. If it's a kite, because the sides are equal to
Three's a kite.
number.
Two the same. Two the same. These are rhombi because all four are the same. And does it really matter? Isn't it the same formula anyway?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay. Does it matter? We identify the shape, but does it matter? Not really. Okay. Katie Smith is a rhombus. What's the formula for a rhombus?
Half and then D1.
That's right. Half times D1 times D2. Yeah, I like the way you say that. Half. I like it better. That's 1/2. What's D1?
50.
50. What's D2?
60.
60. Sweet. What's half of 60?
30.
30. What's 30 times 50? 1500. Great job. Because 3 times 5 is 15. And there were 2 zeros at the end. Stuck them in there. Units that are square units. Great job. Number 2, Andrew Palmer. What's your Twitter account, Andrew Palmer?
You don't have to follow me.
Or that?
You're not even gonna find me.
That's why I was asking. Oh, I could probably ask some of your 125 followers.
Yeah.
Juicy Palmer?
Drewski.
Drewski, not Juicy. Juicy Palmer is probably going to be somebody else.
I'll change it. I'll fix it.
Okay, get back to me. Juicy Palmer. Number 2.
Never mind.
Number 2. Andrew, what shape do we have there for number 2? No.
It is a rhombus.
So wrong.
Back up.
Wrong by.
It's a back up thing.
It is a rhombus. You are so right. Andrew Palmer, how do we find the area of a rhombus?
D1 times D2. Half of
Sounds good to me. What's D1? What's D2?
48.
Sounds good to me. Probably gonna need a calculator for this one. Otherwise, you're in trouble. Half of 16 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64 times 8 times that is 32 plus 6 is 384. 384. You don't need a calculator.
Well, we do.
In my head. What's that? Oh. Tyler Cox! Well, I'm sorry, hold on. Taylor Cox, hold on. But I'm going to ask you very soon what that shape is and what the area formula for that shape is. So hold on.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if it's D1 or D2 or the rhombus. Doesn't matter.
D1 and D2, they're just the diagonals. Whichever one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Tyler Cox. What is, Tyler B. Cox? What is what shape is this? It is a kite. You're so smart. This is the only kite that we've had so far. Only kite we've had so far. These two have been rhombi. See how I use the plural, rhombi. This is a kite. Tyler, what's the area formula for finding the area of a kite? Yeah, that's right. So, what's D1? What's D2? What's half of 18? 9. What's 9 times 1? What's 9 times 2? 18. So it should be 189, right? 18 and 9. Okay, what's area? Our units would be square units, right? So you multiply. It's good. Are there more?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Do we need to do these?
No.
Do number 6.
Oh, number 6.
Oh, do we
Okay, number 6. What shape is number 6?
This
This is a kite. What's the area formula for a kite?
How do you add and fall?
So this is
So it'll be 4.
This length is 4, this length is 5.
And I'll set 9.
So that's going to be 9, that's going to be one of them. And then this one of the properties of a kite is these shorter sides have to be the same length. So that's 2, this one has to be 2. 2 plus 2 is 4, you got it. What's half of 4? What's 2 times 9?
18.
18, so we have 18 square units. Is this alright?
Yeah.
I think that's an important thing to remember. It would also come up here if you needed to. But this would be 5 and 5 here, but you don't really need to know that. So it's okay. Are we alright? Yes, ma'am.
On number 5, are they like equal on both sides?
Yeah. That's another property of a rhombus. I think it's important to note that the rhombi, that the diagonals actually bisect each other. So if that's 12, this has to be 12. This is 15, that has to be 15. So our diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 is actually, what is that, 30 times 24? Like so. So that'd be, let's see, that's 12, so that'd be 3,600?
No, 360.
360? Oh, fun. Yes, Lachey. You could do half a 9. That's 4.5 times 4. That would work out. I like to do that half of whatever one's even. So half of 4 is 2. And then multiply. No, that's a no.
No.
No. Okay. Number 7, 8, and 9, they're different, aren't they? Use the information to find the value of x. Show all your work and circle your answer. Okay. Let's go through here. Let's identify the shapes first. What shape is 7? It is a trapezoid. What shape is number 8? Also a trapezoid. What shape is 9? Kite. Okay. Okay. Trapezoid. What's the area formula for a trapezoid? Okay. Now I know what my base this one's not bad. Number 8's actually kind of hard, so I do want to go through each one of these 3 because they are a little bit more complicated. Please pay attention and take these notes because I think these are kind of hard for some people. Base 1, we'll just say is 14 and this is 22. If you mix those two up, it doesn't really make any difference. So that's going to be an x. What is my area?
108.
108. It actually tells me this. Okay. Now here's what I would do. Well, I just hit the microphone. Sorry, people online. Didn't mean to hit you. 14 and 22 is 36. We'll say 108 equals 1/2 of 36 times x. What's half of 36? 18. So I say 108 equals 18x. How do I solve for x? Divide both sides by 18. And we're at, I don't know. 6? 6. So it would be 6 what? Square feet? Feet. Just feet. Just feet. Here's the part you got to be careful about. It is just feet, just feet, just feet.
Hold on,
Because it's only a height. It's not an area, it's just a height. Oh. Got it. Okay. Riley, number 8. Trapezoid. What's our formula for a trapezoid? 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Okay? What do we know? This one is particularly hard. This is the one that people will miss on the test. This is the one that people will miss on the quiz on Monday. This is the one that people will miss on the homework. Okay? So please pay attention. Riley's going to show up her math skills. Riley, what do we know?
The base.
What's the area?
300.
300 equals 1/2. What's base 1?
10.
What's base 2?
10.
What's the height? 20. Okay. Now, there are several different ways to algebraically simplify this. Our goal is to simplify this and to get the x by itself. Okay? Now, there's a couple different ways. Okay? You could distribute the 1/2 over the parentheses. Okay? Either one of the parentheses. Either one, not both, but just over one of them. Which would be easier, to distribute the 1/2 over the first parentheses or the second parentheses? Second one, right? So we'll say 300 equals 10 plus x times 10. Okay, now,
Wait, why?
we're going to distribute the 1/2 over either the first or the second set of
Doesn't matter.
parentheses. Just one step. Just once. Okay, now here's another question. Algebraically, you can do two different things now. You can distribute the 10 over both things, which a lot of people in America would feel very comfortable with. But the smartest thing to do now is, if you're going to distribute and then just divide anyway, why don't you just divide both sides by 10? If you divide this side by 10, it'll get rid of this 10 here, as opposed to doing it. So probably the smartest thing to do is divide both sides by 10. If you distribute, you're still going to get the right answer. It's just going to take an extra whole step. Boy. Right? This would be 30 equals 10 plus x. Now what do we do?
30 equals 10x?
Subtract 10, subtract 10, x equals 20, 20 what?
Meters.
20 m, which stands for meters.
I get the same answer I did the other.
You're right. You should. That's what I said.
Why don't we do it this way? You want to?
It's more efficient. It's quicker, it's easier, it's better.
I like the other one.
Then do it the other way, I don't care.
Are you back?
No.
That's why you're back.
Claire! Number 9, what do we do?
1/2 times d1 times d2.
Okay, do we know the area? 100? 1/2? What's D1?
Well,
10.
What's D2? X. What's half of 10? 5. So we have 5x equals 100. Now what do we do?
5
X equals 20 what?
yards.
20 yards, that's correct. Not yards squared, just regular yards. Where your dog goes, he goes to the yard. He doesn't go to the yard squared. That doesn't make sense. It's not a dog, it's a squared, it's just a dog. Okay? Anyway, we're done area. This is working these problems backwards. I think the middle one is particularly tough because there's a lot of different options algebraically and what you can do. All of them are right as long as you don't distribute the 1/2 for both parentheses. Just over one. Be careful with that. I think you guys are good with these problems. Just realize that the diagonals do bisect each other for a rhombus. For a kite, only this one diagonal bisects itself. This one obviously is 4 and 5. If they were the same, like 5 and 5, you actually have a different shape. It would no longer be a kite. Okay, so keep that in mind. It would probably then be a rhombus. Okay. This is pretty straightforward. They actually give you the diagonals. Pretty straightforward. So identify the shape. Is it a rhombus? Is it a kite? Is it a trapezoid? We know the formulas: equilateral, etc. Trapezoid step, trapezoid step. Here's a basketball court. You can have see story problems like this. Pretty cakey. And there's your 3 shapes: the T, the K, and the R. Is there going to be a quiz on Monday? Yes, it's blue. I already copied it. It's sitting right up there. Okay. Could it deal with these 3? Yes, it could. Could it also deal with triangles? Could it also deal with squares, rectangles, and parallelograms? It could. Be ready for everything. For everything. Be ready. Okay? You do have a quiz on Monday, unless the end of the world has